we are the management team behind Kingmoor Park Enterprise Zone. We have about over 150 businesses on site employing 2,500 people. And in my job, I get to work with some amazing businesses like the 3 people that are sat on this call now, lots of different businesses. And we believe that our business park is more than just a building or a bit of land. We support people with things like training courses, this type of thing, press releases, marketing, all that kind of stuff. So it's really diverse, and we have a really diverse range of businesses on here, from people that work just on their own to people that employ hundreds of people, DPD, Hermes, UPS, all the big parcel companies. So yeah, it's a real mixed bag, and part of what we are really passionate about at Kingmoor Park is making people aware of the opportunities that are on their doorstep that perhaps they wouldn't necessarily know about. These 3 business owners are a fantastic example of that, and what can be achieved in Cumbria. I'm really pleased to pass over to Steve and let us hear a little bit about his business.
My name's Steve. We run Black Magic car detailing. We've run it in Carlisle for just over a year now. We were in Australia for 10 years running the same business over there. We sold that, and yeah, we come back to Carlisle and set up the same thing. So yeah, we do vehicle wrapping, we do window tinting, paint protection films, ceramic coatings, vehicle detailing, valeting, so things like that. So yeah, it was tough at the start. Obviously, we set up around winter, and then coronavirus hit. But once they relaxed the laws a little bit, it really took off this year. So yeah, it's going really well. So
I own or co-own CrossFit Hawkeye. We've been open for 5.5 years, always based at Kingmoor Park. So yeah, and we started from 30 members for when we first began to 170-ish, give or take now. We've got 4 staff, and if you're not familiar with CrossFit, it's slightly different. So we're a slightly different kind of gym. So we provide things by fitness by the class, rather than just being a gym where people can just access and walk in. And we coach every single person that goes. So there's kind of a personal approach to each of our members, and I like to feel like I know everybody individually as well, which obviously gives people a bit of extra value, if you like, for when they join us. We've got 4 members of staff, and we've all done CrossFit or most of us have done CrossFit for around 10 years.
Hi guys, I'm Lauren. I'm the owner and manager of Discovery Childcare. The nursery itself has actually been open for 6 years. I was the manager for 2 of those years before the old owner decided to sell it. So it was kind of too good an opportunity to pass up, really. I've been in childcare for 14 years and absolutely love my job. And yeah, it was just, you know, far too good an opportunity to pass up in buying it, because I've just made it my own nursery, and I've got an amazing team. There's 10 of us that work there, and we've got like 60, I think it's 68 children on register, which, considering, you know, 10 months into owning it, you know, we had to close our doors because of COVID. We're doing really well at the moment.
I was thinking about this one before, and there was no finance. You know, when you start with nothing. You start with very little, and you build it as you grow. I mean, what you see here today, where we are today, isn't where you start. I started with an old ute in Australia, an old pickup, which cost me about £2,000. And what I did from there was just drive around looking for work. Really, you just build it up slowly, and it took 11 years to get where we are today. So no finances, just work hard, and you're in it for the long haul, and you will get to where you want to be. I mean, if someone just throws loads of money at you, really, you've got to start slow, learn your trade, and in the long run, I think it's better for you.
Getting started, well, I'm in a partnership with obviously my business partner. So we started this together with an initial small investment, and that sort of helped buy or purchase equipment, because being a gym, you need to have some sort of equipment to let people train and work out. And then we obviously had to have the space to do that. So that's how we got started. But like I said at the beginning, we started slowly with an initial base of only 30 members, which was just about enough to cover costs. So that's what we wanted to make sure before we started. And then from there, it's just grown from providing a quality service. The biggest thing for us is word of mouth. I mean, we can promote what we do as much as we like, but really it's about giving people good quality service, and that's what keeps them coming back and paying, like they pay monthly memberships. So yeah, that's kind of how it's sustained. This year has obviously been a lot more difficult with coronavirus. Having no physical space to provide fitness has been the most difficult thing for us. So as you are all on Zoom now, a lot of our classes have been provided via Zoom or by online programming that we've given to people, so they can either work out at home by themselves or through the guidance of a Zoom call like this. But we also lent out pretty much all of our equipment to members, that we signed it all out to them, so that they had something to take home and something to use to kind of assist with their fitness throughout especially the 4 months during the summer lockdown. The last month's not been as bad. So yeah, it's just trying to provide other ways of keeping people involved and keeping them engaged aside from just a physical space. So yeah, that's kind of how we've sustained it. I'm actually a chartered surveyor as well. So I did my GCSEs, A levels, and went to uni to do commercial property surveying, and I am that as well, a little bit, but obviously the day-to-day I run a gym. So I got into CrossFit 10-12 years ago, and I was a coach at a gym in Manchester for a while, and I started off assisting coaching at a gym in Manchester while I lived there, and then that evolved into actually coaching classes myself, and then the passion evolved into wanting to run my own gym. So obviously prior to coaching, I'd gone through the qualifications to do that.
Well, with everything that's been going on this year, not exactly in a business sense, no, not really, because we had to close our doors the 20th of March. I will never forget that date. It was like nearly exactly 10 months after we'd opened, and we had to close the doors for another 3 months. So during that time, we kind of, we had children booked in that were meant to start, and we lost those children because either the parents were furloughed and couldn't afford it, or they'd lost the jobs, so they had to pull the places basically. So we are still kind of building that back up. It's difficult with a nursery anyways, because come the end of August every year, you lose children. So you always have to be prepared for the September to kind of get children in. So you can't quite continue just to build it up every year, because every year you take a big hit at the end of the school year. But in terms of teaching and the quality of care, it's definitely getting on the right path. I've worked there for 3 years now, and I've put a lot of effort into it. I've owned it the last year, and it's definitely better now than what it was. We've actually we've got it up to a good standard, and a good quality standard, and we're just waiting for our Ofsted to hopefully tell us that we've got either a good or an outstanding. I'm hoping for the outstanding, but you never know. So fingers crossed when we get that, we'll start to head in the right direction, because they'll give us pointers of where we need to be and what we need to do.
I could kind of see what the business could make money wise. and working for somebody else, you're never going to make that type of money. And I know you shouldn't say this, customers are watching, you know what I mean? But look, it's working for yourself. There's a lot of perks. And I seen the potential in what you could make with the business. So it was the money thing, really, that, to be honest.
It's driven by passion for fitness and loving what I was doing as almost like a hobby. I was coaching CrossFit and fitness as a hobby, and it was something that I really dreamt about doing for a long time. And when an opportunity came up to go into a partnership and have my own gym, I mean, there's never a right time to do something, because I was taking a leap from another career in property to fitness. So that was the biggest challenge for me. And I think I'd got to a point where I've just thought, we've just got to do this. And obviously the partnership opportunity came up. So that's why we went for it then.
Well, mine isn't for the money, because you make no money in childcare, maybe a little bit, but not much. But mine was, I mean, I've been a manager for the last 7 years, and apart from kind of like the last year that I've owned it, it's always been under somebody else. So I worked for like a chain of nurseries, and you could just never put your own stamp on it, because the chains were always just money, money, money. They just want as much money as you can, you know, as they can possibly get. So when you kind of want to make, you know, you want quality childcare, they weren't interested. So I mean, I moved jobs and I moved to Discovery, and my old owner was great, but I could kind of see that she wasn't wanting to do the job anymore. And it wasn't just like an overnight thing that she was like, oh, I'm wanting to sell the nursery. And I was like, all right, I'll buy it. It was, you know, about a year of planning it, you know, can I afford it financially? It's things like, I mean, we did manage to get finance for the nursery, but it was like a lot of work with the banks. I had to do like a business plan, and I had to just basically plan everything out. I had to forecast, you know, your spending and everything like that. So it wasn't just an overnight thing that we, you know, that I just decided I wanted this nursery. There was a lot of planning going into it, but yeah, it just meant that I could put my own stamp on it, and I could provide that quality childcare. I could pick and choose the staff, instead of just somebody else picking and choosing my staff and just making it work. You know, I can get my staff and develop them into what I want to be, like into what like I want them to be for the nursery. So yeah, it definitely, for the quality of the childcare that we provide, was a big thing of, you know, why I wanted to own my own nursery.
Yeah, go for it. Plain and simple, just do it. I think it's best you make your own mistakes. People can tell you, but I've learned the hard way, and it's made me better for it. So just do it, make mistakes, and in the end, you'll be better for it. So I think there's a lot of people. There's two types of people. What I've noticed is people will find all the wrong things that could go wrong, and there's people that just don't care, and they'll find all the good things that could go right. Just do it, and just think of all the good things that could go right.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with Steve there, especially like going for it. Like I said, I had to take a leap as well, and there's not a right time to do it. You have to go for it and make your mistakes and see how it pans out. The other thing I would add is patience. Nothing happens overnight. Everybody has an expectation of being right where they want to be in a short period of time, and it doesn't happen like that usually. It takes time, it takes perseverance, and trying out new things or new avenues to go down. So yeah, it does take a while to figure things out sometimes.
I would say don't overlook the little jobs. I always remember, you know, when I first started out in childcare, that I used to get things like the cleaning to do and washing the toys and doing snack and things like that you probably think like, oh. But now I I don't expect my staff to do anything that kind of like I don't do. Just don't overlook the little things, and just go for it. Just, yeah, because if you've got the skills of doing everything with your job, there's no reason why you can't kind of just go for it. The nursery was already there, but to be honest, it couldn't be in, you know, a better place. It's just got the perfect location. All our parents love it because you kind of pull up to the building and it's not the prettiest building from the outside, I must say. But when, you know, the parents come in, they absolutely love it. We've got a little garden out the back that they never expect there. You know, and they absolutely love that. We've got like veggies growing, we've got like mud kitchens for the kids to play in, there's teepees, there's big tires for them to climb on, there's all sorts of like opportunities for them in the garden. But we're also a stone's throw away from the Kingmoor Nature Reserve, so we take the children to there a lot and we do a lot of outdoor learning with them. I'm quite an outdoorsy person myself. We've got a nursery dog, which is my dog that comes in. So the kids love going for walks in the nature reserve with Link, my dog. So actually, it just couldn't be, you know, a better location. I think if I was to choose it, I don't think I would necessarily choose there. But I think just because it's just there, we've just made the most of what we actually can. And it's just, yeah, I wouldn't actually move it.
A very similar answer, to be fair. The location's pretty much accessible from anywhere in Carr within about 10 minutes. So for our members, most of them can get there quickly and easily after work or from home. It doesn't take them much time if they shoot up the motorway or down the bypass. But also, it's a much quieter estate. So for what we do, obviously it's a gym, but we're in an industrial style building, because it's a nice open space, it's flexible. You can kind of do what you want with that style of building. And obviously we've got plenty of room to throw weights around or get people jumping around or doing whatever. But we can also run outside. It's it's not that industrial estate. It's a bit, the section we're in is more of a business park. And there's not loads of traffic. So we can ask our members to head out on a run without much risk of anyone getting run over or any traffic. And like Lauren said as well, the access to the nature reserve, we use that as a route for a trail run as well. So yeah, it's just quite nice and a bit out of the way. Parking is also good as well. Also, when the weather's good, we can sort of take some of our classes outside the front of our unit. So people aren't just confined to the gym space, they've got the outdoor stuff as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, the location, to be honest, the location doesn't really matter for us. I mean, the building, it's a nice building, it's a new building, it complements our work very well. But as for a location, I think if you've got something that people want or that will come to you for, I don't think location for us anyway is too much of a drama. But we chose it here because obviously it's a nice area and it's new buildings and it complements our work very well. So that's why we chose Kingmoor Park. Plus, like, I didn't realise how good it was and how involved Kingmoor Park are with everybody. It's not just like we'll give you your unit and that's it. They just want your rent every month. They're actually very well involved, which is quite good, and they've helped me get my name out there as well. So it's actually it's something I wasn't expecting, but it's worked very well.
I would agree with that. The other thing I would add as well is we actually looked at moving. Sorry, Emily. About 2 years ago, and well, to potentially a larger space, but we didn't want to move out of the location we were in, and couldn't find anywhere better. So we actually built a mezzanine within our unit instead to make better use of the space that we already had.
I think for me, it was definitely the next step for me. I mean, like I say, I've been in childcare for 14 years. I started off as a nursery nurse, working in the rooms. Then I was promoted to a room leader. So I kind of I mean, I think I was a room leader when I was 21. And, you know, so I kind of had, you know, like 2 or 3 staff to look after in the room. And then by the time I was 24, I was a deputy manager. And then when I turned, well, kind of like when I turned 25, I got a manager's role. And I kind of stuck that out for, you know, the last kind of 6-7 years. And this was just really the next step to kind of take, really, because I was doing it anyways, but I was always just doing it for somebody else. So the only thing that's kind of different to me is I've kind of just got like an account side and a money side and the business side to kind of sort, whereas, you know, managing my staff, I've done that for the last, you know, decade. So it's not really, it's all I've ever known. I've all ever, you know, like leading staff and teaching them and developing, you know, their skills. That's what I enjoy doing, as well as looking after children. So yeah, it was just kind of the next step for me.
It was one of the hardest things it was one of the hardest things of the business for me to kind of get my head around. Like, I couldn't do it. Like, I didn't know. I was always told what to do. But when we got bigger, I have to teach these people. I have to manage these people. And it was one of the hardest things for me to do. I'm normally just a worker. And I still am. Like, I still do the work. But I found it very difficult to manage people.
That's one of the hardest parts of the business. And this year we've had to cut a couple of people because of coronavirus and streamline our costs a little bit. The other thing that's quite difficult is I'm in partnership, but some of the staff involved are a family of my business partner. So that can be sometimes difficult to manage from my point of view anyway. So yeah, that might, if I could change something, it's hard for me to say this, but that would possibly be one thing, just the personal relationships between the other people that I work with. We're a slightly different fitness offering, I guess. There is another CrossFit gym in Carlisle, which were established before us. So I suppose there was a time where we deemed them as competition, but we're on different sides of town. There's enough people in Carlisle to be split between the two of us. We try not to really compare ourselves to other gyms because, like I said, it's a different offering. We're providing sort of a more personal service, if you like, and coaching to individuals in a kind of group setting. So not that many other gyms do that in our style. But yeah, I don't know. We like to think that we kind of don't need to worry about other people. We worry about our own membership base and evolving that, really.
Yeah, I absolutely love the competition. Like, I'm not even joking. I keep a close eye on my competition. And what you've got to do is you've got to let them worry about you. Don't you worry about them. Always make sure you're one step ahead. But I keep a close eye on my competition, and I absolutely love it. So that's just me. I'm a bit crazy like that.
There's not that many nurseries in Carlisle now, and a lot of them offer different things that we do. So I do kind of think we kind of have one up on other nurseries because we get a lot of children coming to us. The parents, want the children to be outside, outdoors. We have this lovely garden, and we've got the nature reserve, and so we've actually had quite a few children leave other nurseries to come to us because we do offer that outdoor setting and like that outdoor learning, which it's quite a nice feeling when they do come from another nursery to you. But it's quite good as well to have other managers on your side, purely just for support, because they know what you're going through. And if things like COVID, I've had the support of other nurseries of what to do if something's happened. And so it's healthy competition, really, because I do have a little nosy on Facebook and things to see what other nurseries are doing, and but way better. So
I don't think school had anything to do with me wanting to have my own business or work for someone else. I think it's more how you brought up. You copy your family. How I got into doing working for myself was I moved away from everything. I went to Australia for 10 or 11 years. I can't remember. It was that long. And I didn't have anyone kind of saying anything to me. I just did what I wanted to do. I think it's how you're brought up and what you see your parents doing, and the people around you.
We've had a young guy kind of not quite in an apprenticeship situation, but like a shadow coach kind of thing, because he's shown an interest and a passion in wanting to develop himself as a coach and do that at some point eventually. So he's been doing that for quite a while now, and he evolved from being a member of our gym, and his family are as well, to he was asking all the right questions, and so the opportunity came up to provide him that, and hopefully I would like to think in the next 3 to 6 months we will be able to take him on properly. But like I said earlier, obviously this year has been a bit difficult. So yeah, that's kind of one way. We've also had well, several of our members are teachers. A few of them are PE teachers at local schools. So one, for example, would be Austin Friars School, and they brought a group of 6th form down a year or so ago to kind of participate in what we do and just understand a little bit more about it.
I think a piece of advice would be, don't let the bad jobs put you off. I mean, this is apart from like little jobs when I was like 16, 18 and things, you know, childcare is the only job that I've had, but I have had some awful jobs and worked for some not very nice people. Just don't let that put you off, you know, just keep, if it's your passion, it's what you want, just keep going for it. And we've had apprentices in the past. We were due to have an apprentice, but that didn't happen kind of in September time. And we've actually got quite a good partnership with Richard Rose, and 3 times a year we get the year 10 works experience. So we'll get them different times of the year to come from the different classes. And we've also got quite a good partnership with William Howard, which is kind of the other side of the town. But yeah, we'll get quite a few works experience from there. We haven't had anyone this year, obviously, due to being closed and just having different people on the premises. We're just trying to, you know, avoid having other people come into the nursery. So hopefully, when things kind of go back to normal, we'll be able to get our works experience, you know, teens and things in again. So, and it's always quite nice because, I mean, that's what I kind of, you know, like doing. I like teaching people. I like, you know, supporting them. So I quite like having the younger ones in.
I want to be the biggest thing in the UK, you know what I mean? And you know what, it might even end up happening. I mean, I started very small with a youth, and it just progresses. I want to be the car care specialist for Northern England, which, to be honest with you, I can't see why that can't happen. And then you never want to stop. The moment you want to stop growing, it's time to do something else, I think.
Yeah, I mean, of course, we'd always want to grow and evolve the business. The difficulty for us is the actual number of members that we can take at any particular time, especially now. Or we have recovered well from coronavirus to a point where, not that we've had coronavirus, but you know what I'm saying, where we, especially now we've just been able to open up, all our class bookings are full. So our timetable is pretty full, which means my time and the other coach's time is all taken up. But then you don't want to start adding classes earlier in the morning before 6 a.m. or later after 9 p.m, for example. I mean, people might not want to go at that time of day, but we're sort of limited in how many you can take on at one time. So it's about trying to find ways within the business to make more from the people that we have, whether that's by buying merchandise, or by maybe providing particular programs for people that they want to train some more, or even going down different routes, like maybe some kind of corporate route with local businesses and providing a health and fitness outlet to them as well. So that's kind of where we're looking at the moment.
You can come and do a class for our children. I mean, obviously, yeah, you do kind of want to grow it, but I think for me personally, I think I would love a bigger building, but I think we take 33 children in a day, which kind of sounds a lot, but we are actually one of the smallest nurseries in Carlisle, and we are quite, a family personal nursery, and I think that's what people like about us. So I think if we decide, I mean, you could probably go a little bit bigger, which I would quite like to do, maybe to like 40 children a day. But once you start kind of going past that mark, I mean, I've worked in nurseries that take like 50, 60 children, and it just, you stop knowing the children, they just start to become a number. So in that way, yes, you'd love to grow it. Yes, you want to make more money, but you don't want to lose sight of actually what your business is, because it'll, you might get all those children in at first, but then, the cracks will start to show, and, the parents, might end up like complaining. I mean, we have 0 complaints in the 3 years I've worked there. I've got a complaints file that I have to have for Ofsted, and there's nothing in it. So when it gets bigger and you get more staff, and, your staff aren't committed, which my staff are now, those cracks start to show. So I think with a nursery, it's very different wanting to grow your business than, say, to, like Steve, who obviously wants to, to grow his. So it's it's a bit different.
I would say thank you so much to you all for your time and for bringing that across. It is so valuable, and you've all got amazing stories, as I've always said, and yeah, it's brilliant. So thank you very much for all coming, and for for listening to what people have to say, and it's brilliant. Thank you.